I think a woman who desires a man to do all of that is a woman who is in need of the attention and the validation of a man. And if you are a woman who is not seeking the attention of a man or trying to get a man to validate you, then there's absolutely no reason to play these type of games where, oh, I'm not going to call him first or he got to call or text me first. Nah, all that is a projection of your fear of rejection. Rewind the tape. Let me say that again. That is a projection of your fear of rejection. Straight up. Ladies, y'all got to stop playing this game with men when you're dating. What's going on? It's your man, Immanuel, back with a new video. Today, we got to get into a really dope topic that I think may apply to some of my ladies out there. Just in case, we got to dive into it today. I saw this post when I was scrolling over on IG that came up from Rubi Rose and none other than Blueface. We're going to get into it. I got 2, maybe 3 points that I want to drop on y'all about this situation. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So here's this tweet that came in from Rubi Rose. She says that she feels like the man that she's supposed to be with is supposed to pursue her. She don't text. She don't call guys first ever unless it's her man and they locked in. Is she childish? Or is that how it's supposed to be? Let me know your thoughts, but I'm definitely about to dive into this. I think that this goes far, far beyond just the pursuit, right? I mean, there's all these conversations about men should pursue women, men should pursue women. Women just got to fall back, relax, and just let the man come to her. Let him pursue. That's one thing, right? If that's your take, that's your take. I ain't gonna say nothing about it now, maybe in a future video. But I think this goes way beyond a man pursuing Rubi. And then secondly, I gotta say, right? Like most of us here, we over 20, over 30, some of y'all even over 40 listening to this podcast, watching this YouTube channel. We too mature for these games, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I know that games are being played out here, but aren't we too grown for these type of immature games? I thought we were. I thought we was past it, but maybe not. And that's why I want to dive into some points. And just in case y'all wondering, I'm going to let y'all know what Blueface say in a little bit. Just hold your horses. We'll get to it in a minute, but let's dive into what Rubi's talking about. So the first thing that I got to say, always got to give people credit, always got to stay objective. Y'all know me, right? So if she's talking about when she makes first contact with a guy, like she out and about, she exchanged numbers or IGs or however y'all exchange contact info out here in this world today, in these streets, however that's done, she's sitting back like, okay, I'm not going to make first contact. I'm going to wait for him to text or call her. If that's the case, I can rock with that. I can understand that. But if she's talking about playing this game for the entire time that they're dating, getting to know each other, and she ain't going ever call or text first, that's childish. That's immature. And I think you got to grow up. Like, just because y'all not in a relationship does not mean that you as a woman can't call a man or text a man first. There's nothing wrong with that. And what it signals to me, maybe you agree, maybe you don't. I feel that if that's the case where you're like, yo, if I ain't in a relationship, I ain't calling him, I ain't texting him first, he got to do all of that, or it ain't gonna happen, right? I think a woman who desires a man to do all of that is a woman who is in need of the attention and the validation of a man. And if you are a woman who is not seeking the attention of a man or trying to get a man to validate you, then there's absolutely no reason to play these type of games where, oh, I'm not going to call him first or he got to call or text me first. Nah, all that is a projection of your fear of rejection. Rewind the tape. Let me say that again. That is a projection of your fear of rejection. Straight up. All you're trying to do is hide the fact that you're afraid of getting rejected if you do call or if you do text first. That's a part of the game. Deal with it. Learn how to navigate it. If he ain't interested, so be it. It ain't nothing wrong with calling and texting somebody first. Not to me. I think mature adults understand that. Second point, y'all, before we get to Blueface. Anytime I hear a woman speak in absolutes, like what I'm hearing here, I ain't gonna ever, I ain't gonna never, if this ever happened, That is a red flag to me. Maybe it's not to you, but when I hear those absolutes, it's a red flag to me, because what it signifies is that you are a person that doesn't understand that sometimes things change. Sometimes situations aren't going to play out according to your expectations. Sometimes you're going to have to navigate the waters a little bit differently, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. Now, I also want to speak to something that I know some of my sisters, my female friends deal with, right? Which is struggling or having a weakness with being the first person to communicate. There are some people who are just not good at reaching out, calling, or texting people first. And it's not necessarily because they're not interested or they don't have, some interest in that person or want to talk to them or don't care about them. It's just something that they struggle with. I know I got a few friends that's like that, and I totally understand. But here's the caveat. Here's the key. They communicate that. Now, clearly, you ain't gonna do that on the first date and be like, hey, you know what? I don't call or text nobody because I struggle with that, right? That's as you getting to know somebody. You should let them know, like, hey, I know you may have expectations, or, sometimes I may not call or text. And the reason why is because I struggle with that. Sometimes, I'm so locked in on work or whatever else you're doing that you forget to do it. But this is what I also will say. Just because you communicate that point doesn't give you a green light to continue to not do it. You have to try to improve in that area. You got to put in some type of effort to be willing to show your interest in a person. Because let's be honest, if you're not contacting a person first, at some point that is going to be interpreted as you're not interested. And I'm just being honest. That's how I feel even when it comes to a friend, not even women that I'm communicating with. If I have a friend that I'm always texting, I'm always calling, I'm always the person that's reaching out, after a while it get tiresome, and I'm going to keep it a buck with you. At some point, I'm going to stop. Like, it's going to be a much longer period of time, even when you cross my mind, unless it's something that I feel led by God to reach out and do to you. I'm just going to let it flow. I'm just going to let it go. But hey, I believe in these types of situations, it's all about the law of reciprocity. It's nothing wrong with reaching out first, and both people should be willing to do that. That shows a mutual interest. These games, we got to overcome them, y'all. But before we go, let's talk about Blueface. I'm going to show y'all what he had to say. In response to Rubi, Blueface says, the Bible says men should never chase women. Public service announcement to my man Blueface. The Bible don't say that nowhere, brother. In no book, in no chapter, in no verse are you going to find the words men should never chase women. But I could be wrong. Maybe he's talking about the pimp Bible. Maybe he's talking about the Bible of game, or even the Alpha Bible, or maybe he's reading from the Bible of Blueface. But the Holy Bible, Blueface, the Holy Bible don't say nothing like that, brother. What the Holy Bible says in regards to the relationship between men and women is that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. That's in Proverbs 18:22. Now that is actually in the Holy Bible. But that's all we got for today. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know y'all thoughts on Rubi's perspective and, Blueface calling himself quoting the Bible. Let me know y'all take in the comments. I appreciate it. And I catch y'all in the next one. Until then, y'all stay blessed, live, and love life. Thank God for another video. Deuces.